years of meetups, I've compiled 67 of the most genius camper trailer mods and upgrades that these real campers can't live without. Yep, these ideas are going to transform how you camp, making everything easier, cozier, and way more fun. But there's also more to be excited about because they also shared their genius accessories, storage and organization ideas, and cabinet hacks. So I'll be sure to share this full video playlist in the video description below. Welcome back, Team Small Camper Fam, or if you're new here, hi, I'm Randy, and every Thursday I share tips to help you make big memories in your small camper because weekends are just too short. And because I know you're gonna ask, I don't have Amazon links for everything, but the products I do, I'll leave that information for you in the video description below. Now let's dive right in.
So the mod that we have is allowing multiple different configurations. It allows for easy travel. We're not having to put the table down. It's just a nice flat tucked in off to the side. Table lifts off, pushes off to the side, and you can put it down into a bench situation like that if you want to have it as a U shape with a cushion across and just expands your space. You have so much more room to move within the trailer. You can lift it up. It's a French pleat system, so you can slide it left and slide it right and up and down like that. If you want to do the table, playing cards and that, this little cafe sort of situation works out really well. Then it folds down onto that for full-size dining, right? And that works wonderfully at this configuration.
Took the door off and took it to a glass place, and they cut it to fit and attached it for us for $26. We think it's great.
Oh my goodness. And that makes the place look so much bigger too, doesn't it?
We did it first on the inside,
Oh,
but then we discovered we couldn't really stand here. This works way better to have it on the outside.
Now we have his and hers.
My first update is the stickers. New driver. This is my first ever trip, so I thought it was important that people knew. I don't know what I'm doing. If I'm on the road, I know people assume that if you're driving a camper, you know what you're doing. I don't, so I wanted to warn people. That's my first update.
I love that. Please be kind.
Everybody loves their Laguna tables. I wasn't a fan because this original table from 2018 is very heavy and it weighs down the Lagoon bar. So what I did was I put a slide bar attached to where the table normally rests so I can slide my table back and forth. If I want to, when I travel, take it down, I just lift it up and it comes right off. And let me show you, I'll just do that real quick. It just comes off and it lays down to travel. And then when I get somewhere, I can pick it up. Press it back on the track. Again, slide it. And I put a mounting leg that screws right into, I don't even know what you call that, but my shower mod is that the door used to open to the dinette and it was a little squeeze getting in and out. So what I did was I took the frame and I unscrewed it, flipped it upside down, screwed it back into the exact same holes, and now my door opens to my camper and I have all that space. It's not a problem getting in and out any longer.
Laundry's always an issue with drying your towels. Not anymore. So this is entirely removable. What we used is a flag bracket holder and then built this frame. This joint, this joint, this joint, and this joint are not glued together so that you can knock this apart with a rubber mallet. This top piece comes off. This bottom assembly stays together. So you can break the whole thing down, pop it in your basement, and away you go. It works wonderfully.
Except if it rains.
Yeah, except for if it rains.
One thing that was talked about was the front jack. We went with a trailer valet jack. It has a removable handle, so when the bed of the truck comes down, it clears it just barely. But one thing nice about it, you can put an adapter on your cordless drill, and it moves up and down just like an electric jack. And then they call it a fast way flip. Just moves up and down when you put the jack up. So that's convenient.
We added this shelf. It was just a piece of that knockdown furniture that you have, a shelf from that we modified, cut it to fit in the back corner. And when we're traveling, I just put these on and I always label my noodles so I know where they go and so I know what fits it. So things don't slide. And I just throw my dish drainer mat over things in here if you're on a bumpy road.
Over here we have a homemade table that Donna's father, a woodworker, made for us. We mounted this on the Lagoon mount apparatus, and it is a wonderful table that goes everywhere you want it to go when it's on screen. So we love this. It is a life changer for the inside the camper. Swivels and turns and drops down. It fits right in between, just like the old table did. So all the dimensions are the same as the original table.
Nice.
And then we have these nice little bumpers so that nobody has to get cuts on their head, which is really important.
I can't tell you. This is the corner that's gotten me more times than once.
I've been the one just opposite. The only other thing we've done was replace our TV, the original TV, with a Roku smart TV. And the picture is so much better. It's beautiful. And then you can stream whatever you want to stream.
We took out the single stair and we put 2 steps to make it easier to get in and out so that we don't have a larger step especially when we're getting out, to step down from. This particular set, when I tried to install it myself, but I saw that the holes were not exactly lined up with each other. So I had somebody else who was able to drill through the supports, but they did it quite easily. And it was something I'm sure somebody could do who has the tools to just drill through these supports. Took one extra one, and now the original one just folded up. So this one folds up and then folds in like that, and then take the cam and folds down. We're ready to get back in again.
Are you guys happy you did the 2 steps?
It's much easier to get in and out. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
much safer too.
Yeah. No, that's a great upgrade.
And then I was left with plywood, so I covered this with vinyl, shelf paper with vinyl over it that you can get on Amazon instead of just looking at the plywood top.
Nice. And then it protects it too, doesn't it? Or
Yeah.
it gives it a protection there.
Protects it, easy to wipe off, if you spill something. So first I dropped the spare tire because I do not want to be on the side of the road trying to get my tire out if I need to change a flat. And then I moved it to the front, and it's bolted and locked on the inside of the cabinet here. So I have a lock, so no one will steal that. And then the next thing I did was a change on the inside. I'm a solo traveler, so I wanted to modify the inside for me. So I took out all the cushions. I redid the plywood. So I made a twin bed across the back, and then I had cushions made that fit the new space I have now.
So it's a nice seating area.
Yeah.
Besides,
Yep. And I can fit, 6 people in here because I can sit on the bed. And
I want to take a look at the leveler so that I can show people. So this is the level mate.
level mates.
You got it right there. So you just come and look and see what's going on. No, it's Bluetooth, right? So Bluetooth
Yes.
to your phone.
Yeah. So you have to come in and turn it on, and it makes a noise
Okay.
like that. And now it's connecting, searching for my phone. And then I pull it up on my phone. Hopefully it'll come out 00.
We're going to find out if you're level or not, aren't we?
I'm a quarter of an inch.
Oh, that's okay.
So it shows your side to side and front to back.
That's nice.
It's so helpful instead of using a level.
We have hooks on either side here that if like one person wants to sleep, this lets a lot of light in even when it is closed. So we like have a rod that'll go across here, and I have a curtain that fits here. And we can just block all of this area off and it can stay dark.
So you got to explain what's going on here.
You can open the door
Yeah.
and not crash into the awning.
That is smart. Look at that.
And my husband installed it. You can put your veggies or whatever and strain through that. And then you've got your cutting board. Yeah, so I bought these from Amazon. They're the type that's non-breakable, but you can still see really well. If I were to do it again, I might have done more here just because, it breaks it up. But it comes just like this in 4 panels, and it sticks, and it's super easy to put on. So,
And they've stuck and stayed stuck.
yeah, so far I've not had one problem with them. I mean, I like it because, it doesn't give you the clown effect that some of the glass does. But yeah, that's where I chose to put mine. So that's a nice thing to put on top of the stove. Gives you, oh yeah, these things.
It has a nice little
Backsplash.
decorative
Yeah.
accent, doesn't it?
Yeah, that backsplash. That just stuck on. That was easy to do.
Is that peel and stick?
Yeah, it is.
As you all know, the little guy Max comes with a huge table with a huge thing. So I did, like a lot of other people, put in a lagoon table. So this is a little offset, so comes out pretty much to the middle. But if I want it to just lounge here, I can just move that over there out of the way.
Have you enjoyed it being round versus the other shape?
I thought I might not like it, but I couldn't find anything that was bigger. And then now I really do like it. I do. Because I can even put it way over there just to have it, like this. It's just like a little side table. So I have wanted to customize it a little bit. My favorite color is purple. So I found this stripe here. And then to keep it going with my truck, I did a reverse one on my truck and now they're matching there.
Where did you get this?
Amazon.
And you've not had any problems with them?
No.
Anything like that?
No, I haven't.
Great.
They're easy to put on. The hardest part was lining this up.
It looks real sharp.
We took the table base out. This leg folds up and has a trigger to fold up. And if I want to take it off, I lift it up to a 45-degree angle and it'll come off. But otherwise, it stays stationary even when we're traveling because we don't use this as a bed very much. And there's plenty more space to put buckets and shoes underneath the table. So that's kind of a different setup. This will also slide to the left or to the right because it's on a rail. And on both sides, I put USB ports because the USB port in the trailer is much further away and you're taking a cord across the walk space. This is also a flip up to add extension space to the counter. And I had to make it only so big because I needed still to access everything else. But that really helps with just a little bit more counter space.
Wallpaper, and that has been a hot topic this weekend. And I've asked a few other people, yours looks like it's not peeling. Have you had problems?
It only went up a week ago.
Oh, okay. To be determined.
To be determined, but I'm kind of confident. And we painted this with outdoor house paint trim. And then I re-nailed it with a nail gun. So all this trim is pretty solid, but I think anything's possible. But I got it underneath the trim on both sides. There's not a seam except down way low. So I'm hopeful.
Well, and I think that's a difference that you've got it going underneath here. So you took all of this
I
out.
had to take the door off to get that trim to pull back so I could get it underneath there. Yeah.
It's a really nice pattern too.
It's just simple. It worked with what was already here.
Mm-hmm.
And the rug kind of matches our decorative decal up in the front.
Oh, goodness. Look at that.
And the decorative decal over your head at the doorway.
Over my head. Let's take a look. Oh,
You know where that is?
that's at Arches, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Arches.
Oh,
And that's actually a sticker from a water bottle.
it's a sticker from a water.
It's a water bottle sticker to wrap around, and I just put it up there instead.
Because I like to read here and so forth. And I put this in as well. And this does multiple configurations. So you can play games. You can use it to eat at over here. And you can also use it for over here for your kitchen so that if you're prepping food, you can prep food. So it has multiple configurations to where it can get to. And you can also put this outside.
You just attached it here.
Yes. You can take this off. You can take this bracket off. You can take it all out of here.
And what's amazing to me is all the stuff that she has put in place that we leave up while we travel and it stays there. And I can't believe it stays there.
That's a curiosity to some people because we have knickknacks out. This is the quake hold that we use to hold down the decorative objects, the plants and things, and it stays even while we travel. I do put the lamp away, but other than that.
We've only had our camper out. This is our third trip, I think, in it, so we didn't do a lot yet, but there are some interesting ones because he's hair challenged, I would say. No hair on the top of his head, so you'll see what we're talking about when we get inside. You can see by the padding up here, he kept hitting his head every time he'd bend over, and then he was cutting his head. So he decided to put this rope. I think we got this off of Amazon. It's probably more for children, babies or something. And it really does help him a lot. And it almost looks like trim. And then it's very padded, so you don't cut yourself if you bump your head or anything.
It's not heavy. The whole thing's only maybe 80, 85 pounds with the lights and everything.
I like to read in bed, and so Jim put a board across the window so I can lean my pillow against the window without hurting the screen.
That was sweet.
That's my favorites.
Just a couple of things. I did my own lift kits and then improved my my tires, upgraded my tires, along with I put some bumpers on the rear of the trailer so they hit first and wouldn't damage my trailer. Tire upgrade, there's not much to see. I put in my own lift kit. on it.
Also, you said lift kit. I didn't know what that was.
It's like kind of like the Rough Rider thing I did
Okay.
myself.
Oh, okay.
So for a $200 lift kit, you can do the Rough Rider thing. And then the tires are probably a $200 upgrade, but they're upgraded to load range E from load range D. So they're about 1,000 pounds a tire more capable. I wanted a more durable, heavy duty tire for a little longer trips and just to be a little more confident. Also, a lot of people commented on these little clips. I've attached these little loops so that you can tie things down. You can attach your dog to it. We also sometimes tie down our canopy.
One thing I saw that you can buy anywhere is just a little extra valve you put on the dump valve back there. And if you don't have it, I would highly recommend it. It's called a third valve. This is where it is. So your valve stops here and your cap, just goes on. So you buy this and it just pops right on just like the cap or like the sewer hose. And now you get another valve. So when you get ready to dump, you pull that one first and open it up, and then you open up your gray or your black or whatever. And when you're done, close that, give it a second. And we did this because our black tank valve started leaking one time on a different RV. Pop this on and you've just got a secondary stopgap problem. This is just 2 old pieces of gutter. And just plastic gutter, keeps it straight. I usually have it on better, but right now it's working just fine like that. And just give it a downhill slope. Keep the hose from doing what hoses do. We've got full hookups here, so we don't need to worry about it. But this, if you don't have full hookups, it's for a long stay. If you're a couple of days, it's no big deal. Our tanks are fine. But if you're going to spend a week, you might end up filling up your black tank. Yeah. So either way, you just dump your tank into this. It hooks on the back of your truck and you drag it up and dump this tank. You don't have to move your camper, and that works well. These are just called, I think they were called the Perfect Bungee. It's just got a circle here and 6 bungees on it. So I ran 2 under and clamped it underneath. And it holds it. I mean, it's on there solid. Once you're going to dump, you would take this off. And when you look over here, it's just got just like a sewer connection. So you dump your hose right into it. So you dump it in here. And you've got a handle that we keep there. It just hooks on your hitch. And you drag it up to the dump station. Just pick it up and dump.
Okay, tell me about this.
Okay, so
Wow.
we took the base off the table, cut the table into thirds. The other third is under here. And so we can have regular dinette with a table in here. We can have it this way because I have a bad habit of leaning back over here and throwing my legs over, or put the other piece and make it into the bed. It's really practical this way. It's really practical.
I had 2 flat tires on the road last year. I said I would never crawl under this trailer again. So I had a fabrication done for the rear and got the tire on the back. The external solar operated motion detector light probably scared a bear away or 2 in Alaska, which is kind of nice. The cover on the fan, so I keep the fan on pretty much all the time. I burned up 3 motors already. So I keep it on all the time. It's my mosquito vacuum system and, just keeping it cool. When I had a dog, it was nice to just keep the trailer cool. The new high capacity hitch, had to cut the old one off and weld the new one on. It's a little bit more sturdy than the one that they put on there. I have heard reports of people bending them. So I wanted to prevent that because I knew I was going off some really rough roads. So it's just a little stronger steel. And it's got a positive catch system, which a little bit more secure. I know it's on there compared to that slide one that they had on the 2019s. Yeah, so real secure. Okay. And then the double battery system. And I just use a Viking portable, which has really been helpful to not only top off the batteries, but I can remove it. I can charge up the truck. I got 2 batteries in the truck as well as a generator. So I can power the trailer on the generator as well.
You just hook this to
Yeah,
the battery and it'll charge the battery.
Just to any 1-ton line.
Similar to like a trickle charger? Or is
It is.
It's a trickle charger.
It is, yep. And it has an auto sensor on it. So when it gets below a certain level, it automatically kicks on. So like when I was up in the Northwest, I would have no sun for 7, 8, 9 days. And, drain the batteries pretty quick at that point. So, yeah, that's really been helpful. And I just went with the Duralast Gold sealed system so I don't have to check the fluids. This does a nice job of detecting the health of the batteries as well, which is really nice. The gutter molds, I think was a nice addition to protect I think I was getting water here in the corners at one point, and it also keeps the AC drip away from the window, which is really nice.
Where do you get those?
Amazon comes in a roll. Grates on the heaters. I had a rat's nest built in there on one trip, so yeah, that's been helpful. Reflectives on the window really helps keep it cool when the sun is hitting it. That silver stuff on the inside of the window, reflective, it keeps the heat out, particularly direct sunlight. Does a nice job. The upgraded axle, although I don't have the clearance that I used to have, but it's so solid, and I can overfill the trailer. I can travel with full water, and the axle handles it just fine. The external tire, yeah, that's been a God save. I had one flat after I put it on there just to be able to get it off, and it's got a tire lock on it, so nobody can grab it. And I got the gutter up top, the cover on the fan, and then the extra solar panel.
And of course, the cover on the wheel.
Got to have the wolf cover on the wheel.
The number one great thing is I have is real-time GPS tracking on my phone as well. So if somebody was able to drive the way, I just look on my camera where it's going down the road.
My dinette table had a big rip in it, so I replaced it with a laminate top. And I went with a butcher block look. It was really easy to do. I just attached the table and took it to a local countertop shop. I love the new look. And I've been noticing some bubbling around the kitchen countertop area. So this winter, I'm going to be replacing that top too.
And I was going to show everyone our ratchet style window arms for the front and back windows. But basically, these are the arms. You just replace what was there with these arms, and you get them from Transatlantic product. And
Oh, I heard him click.
yeah, they just click. There's like 3 stops. And that's about as far as it opens. And then when you want to close it, you just extend it all the way and drop it down.
So why did you do this?
Well, specifically for the front window, it wouldn't stay open with the arms that it came with.
So you can also then open the window from the outside and latch it up.
It's nice in a rainstorm. It's like you're trying to get everything shut down quickly.
The shelf for the CPAP is up here, and it's not screwed into the ceiling. It's just screwed in underneath here. Just holds the CPAP. Yep, it just screwed in underneath.
Oh, that's really convenient for a CPAP, isn't it?
Yep, hangs down there, and I shove everything up there during the day. And the table works great for working on the road. Swivels all around.
How easy or hard was it?
It wasn't too hard, just securing it.
You just secure it down there.
Yep, and so it pivots when I want to just sit and work like that, so it works pretty good.
Does it fold down or come down?
I just take it completely off, and then I slide that down, and I put the bed across. So it just comes completely off.
The little screens that go in here on both of the things that keep the bees and insects from going in there and making nests. And it's nice and warm.
Oh, yeah.
Above there, building nests.
Sure, that would not be a good thing.
And the mods that I did is I redid the cushions. We had the counters extended and got another table to have to place over the stove. So the whole thing is flat. I have you just open up the pantry door, and I have a little erase board, and I always try to put where I am, the address and the phone number, just in case, because who can think when they're in an emergency like that? So,
Let's see.
and this is my thing where I made it. All this is just flannel, and I had a seam around it, and it's elastic, and I put it over my windows, and I have them for all of them, and then we put our whole cover over it. So in the winter, when it's flapping around and moving, you're not going to get etching or anything like that. And then you just take them off, and that's it.
Well, this is probably my favorite mod right here, which is just that, because if you you could open your door all the way. We have the Prole bed system.
My tip is to have one book for all of your manuals, all of your warranty information, every single wiring diagram that anybody posts online, I print out and I put in here so that if we ever have an emergency on the road, that we have all the information here in one place. So this book always goes with us.
Is our Laguna table. And a lot of times we just like last night, the sunset was beautiful. There were too many bugs out there. So we just pushed our table to the side, and him and I snuggled right in here, had our little cocktail, and watched the sunset. It was beautiful. And no bugs.
And no bugs.
And room. Room to move around.
So how hard was it to add this Laguna table?
This board right here is a part of the table. And my husband and the neighbor cut that off because it was too big. We kept catching ourselves coming in and out of here. So they cut the table down to give us more room. And, you know, he put 2 wood blocks to bring it out. It was not that difficult. I'm going to say it was a 2-hour job for him and my neighbor.
Now, can you still make the bed with the arm there?
This whole bracket right here comes off. And yes, so then another reason we wanted to keep that piece was because when we do make the bed, not, you know, that we have, but then the rest of this table fits on these lips and you can make it into a bed.
Typically the awning is not out, right? So, you know, the door will bump into here, which everybody has the pool noodles. But what we did was we just wedged a pool noodle in on the side. We don't have the stopper that comes factory now, but it does pinch between the 2 windows and it protects the glass from any door swinging out. So that pool noodle works wonderfully.
And easy.
Front. And it's easy, right?
Our sink has fallen down 3 times. I've glued it with Gorilla Ultra and Loctite and Liquid Nail, and none of them have worked. And we took it from undermount and just cut out the hole a little bit and put it back in as an overmount sink. I'd like to show you one little thing that we learned that somebody else did before. Down here is this Fernco couplet. It allows
this right here?
Yes.
Okay.
That allows your sink to move and not be so rigid when you're driving down the road. And when I tore out the sink, all I had to do was unhook that and all the plumbing came with it. And then I didn't have to do any replumbing when I put it back in.
These wood bars are just so that our pillows don't slam into the shades when we want to sit and watch TV. They are just Velcroed in place on the sides so that we can just push it out if we had an emergency or.
We hung and designed and built that ourselves.
Way to go. I love it.
Oh, so Marta, a cushion thing.
Oh, and then there's just the padding along the back wall. I think it's meant for headboard.
You guys always amaze me with what you are up to.
As the person who sleeps back there, I love that. It's now cushioned. It's not like cold and wet and
Hard.
yeah, it's very nice and it looks great.
I did covers for my seats. So I left them open. I kind of haven't finished them yet, but they're very simple to make. Walmart material, it's like $6.99 a yard, and it just brings a lot of color and fun.
It's really nice and homey in here. I love the bright colors.
Got rid of that monstrosity that was under here, and I had a pool cue that I wasn't using. So I just cut off the end so that the table would be level when I brought it down.
So you just screw that back in there.
Yep. It's just a little nut plate that screws on underneath, and I used 1/2-inch screws, and they do not come through. So that was a good thing. And it's a very sturdy table.
This is called the Jackie Up. I was tired of not being able to drop my tailgate, and so I found this online. The Jackie Up is just this metal ring, and you, in a sense, remove your jack, lift the jack out, and then attach this metal ring where the jack would be attached to. And then when it's time to go, you just bring the trailer down onto the ball, and you'll start to see the inside loosen, hopefully soon here. And then once it's loose, you just give it a turn, your jack comes out, so then drop your tailgate.
And one of the things I did was I made this mesh bag, and it totally comes out. I have it strapped here, but it's kind of like a saddlebag over the battery. The sewer hose goes here. The water hose fits right in here. It just coils up on this side. And then I also made a little bag for all the water accoutrements, water filter, the adapters, and everything go in there.
That's just a great way to make use of all of this outdoor extra storage space.
We don't use the propane that much, so I don't really need an extra propane. I haven't filled it in 2-3 years. No.
Oh, you really don't use propane, do you?
Okay, so another thing, I really hated the vinyl. I got this, it's called the Pet Friendly line at Joann's. And so I took apart the cushions, ordered new foam that's high density so it doesn't melt. And then it's supposed to help repel pet stains. And then I liked the underside of it so much, I got enough to redo the awnings, and I just stapled them on. And then I also made little crystals. There's one in the back too. And when I travel, because that makes it heavy, I just go like this and put them down and travel, and then put it back up when I get where I'm going. And it keeps the frame from coming off the wall, because I've had that happen.
especially in the back. So there's another one in the back. And then one mod that I saw when my nieces come, we need another spot, is I've got the 2x4 frame. And I just bring it out and I cut down some table legs and I have the little brackets under there because the dogs need it. I know you don't need the table leg, but I just screw those table leg in and I put some cushions down and it makes it to where your feet can come this way. And then peel and stick wallpaper everywhere and decals.
Have you had any problems? I know people have been talking about that's been a hot topic.
Yes.
Have you had problems or has yours stayed stuck?
The decals have stayed stuck, but you can see in the corner above the door, it's starting to peel the peel and stick wallpaper, but I just kind of push it back.
How long have you had this on?
Last summer, I did.
Last summer.
And this is cork fabric.
I was going to ask.
That I painted and I put wallpaper paste behind it. And the other half of it is over here by my bed because it was 65 inches wide and I needed to use the other half.
It's really so fun. It is so fun. So you painted this.
Huh?
And it's done. So tell me again, what is this called?
It's cork fabric.
Cork fabric.
And you can actually get different color. I really wanted the silver, but I like the gold. And I did change all the handles because the ones with the brackets, the dog's harnesses would get caught on them. So I changed all the handles to smooth edge.
There's never enough USB ports in this place, and we're starting to carry more stuff. I converted an old suitcase, and I call it my octopus's garden. It has every charging cord we will ever use. We plug it in the receptacle because we never use the TV.
So smart. So you've got everything kind of buried underneath here.
Yeah, it's just, I can get it out. Sometimes it sticks. No, I'm not going to get it out. It's just a bar that has all the multiple USB ports in it, and there's a hole in the back of the suitcase, and you just plug it in wherever.
First thing we did was we had this generator from before, and I made some rails and put it on there. They're actually just 2x3s that I U-bolted the frame. I didn't drill anything with that. This is a sway controller that I put on because we did have a little problem with the trailer wiggling going down the road. And my trailer hitch here, I put an extended hitch on there so I can get my tailgate down with the trailer hooked up.
I bought this little computer table so I can use it for my coffee and things like that. And it folds down when I'm ready to go and it slides right underneath.
This came with the sewer hose holder. However, it was,
When you put the hose in,
it didn't fit.
there was too much pressure inside that it was hard to close the door.
Well, you
So
could
we
not get the door closed.
We extended 6 inches on each side.
6 inches on each side using these L brackets. And this was an existing plastic bracket attached to this. So we brought it out. It was mounted back here. So we extended it this far on both sides. So now it's functioning.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question because I'm trying to understand. How did you extend it?
A tube inside.
It's sleeved.
A tube inside a tube.
I see. It's a tube inside of a tube.
Right.
Oh,
It's made to be extended. However, the way they mounted it back here on each side, you could not put the complete hose in. So it was worthless unless you had very short fishing rods or marshmallow forks.
Sometimes have the smoke alarm go off because all the smoke was in there. So I figured out that we needed a ventilation system of some sort. And that's what this is. So you can buy this at Campers World. Really designed to sit on a table somewhere, and it runs off of AC. And so what I did was I got some stock. This is a piece of aluminum that you can get from Amazon. It's 2-inch by 1-inch rectangular tube. I got an angle grinder and I cut out one side of it, so I have a little bit of a lip right there. And then on the inside of this section right here, I got a heat gun, made a little lip on this as well, and then drilled 2 holes. And I drilled 2 holes that line up with that. And so this can then mount just like that. And you turn it on, and it's right where the stove is, and it evacuates all the smoke and vapors. And while it's in that position, you can actually still close.
So if it's raining out or anything else like that. And that's when we actually figured it out. We were cooking lamb chops on an outside grill, started pouring. We brought the lamb chops in. I started to cook, and the whole place knew we were cooking.
The alarm.
And it's really nice that it's able to plug in right
It
here.
plugs right in.
You don't have to have any lines or anything going in that way.
On the back, you'll see it on the back. And then I put one on the side as well here. And so this obviously goes in the car so we can see what's going on behind us. But we can bring it inside because it runs off a 12 volt. And so when we have all our toys laid out here in the middle of the night, I have this camera on and it has a motion detector.
So if someone tries to like our bikes more than us, at least I have awareness that something's happening outside. And it runs off of 12 volts, as you guys know. And so you can see what it looks like in here.
And this is the camera right here.
That's the camera. And what I did was I went into the control panel and I got a hot 12-volt line. And then I drilled a hole into the control panel and I just put a toggle switch on. So you see the regular toggles that they come, but there's enough area, a blank spot, where you can insert your own toggle. And so now when we drive, it's not light dependent on the lighting system.
Right. This is our indoor and outdoor temperatures of our freezer, and we have sensors in here. You can buy the sensor, and then you don't have to wonder whether or not your food is actually cold enough or hot enough without, like going in. It's right here. So that's really kind of cool. This carpet is from my daughter's apartment, and she moved. So we borrowed it, and it fits pretty much perfectly. And with having 2 dogs travel, it's really a plus.
Nice big rug.
Yeah.
I believe the previous owners were bicycle people because they needed something here to lock. So this unit was there and it's now moved over there.
So this is made by King Camp and it's made for tailgating off a SUV. You can buy Keter rope on Amazon, maybe some other places as well. And so that was sewn. And then because I have a Keter rail, of course, now I can just slide it up there. So it's held tight up on top. And then I have the posts out front. And that has worked wonderfully. You get great shade and it's withstood some pretty good winds. And the best part is this only cost $100. And the Keter rope cost $30. So it was very economical.
One of my mods was this thermostat. I had a lot of problems with the Dometic one, so I went and got this one on here, and it is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capable, so you can have it on your phone. Works much better than the original. There it is on Bluetooth. So right now it's off, so if I was to turn it on,
Oh, there you go. The air conditioning. Well, that's nice.
you can change the fan to manual or auto with a button down here. You can change the temperature by touching it here. Change the other thing. That's how that works.
Oh, that's really cool.
This is another app. This is my Mopica app. As you can see, I have my level of my propane tanks here. And up top, I got fresh water tank level. That just updates every few seconds.
And those other ones then are your LP tanks?
I got 2 LP tanks. You can see this one's close to being empty.
So this is an app as well?
Yes, the app on your phone. It's got ultrasonic sensors on the tanks that are Bluetooth to your phone.
So you buy the sensor and then you hook it up to the app and then you can read it from your phone.
Exactly.
Oh, that's smart.
But my favorite picture is my Bigfoot picture I went and did, and it's out of leftover, paracord.
Really? I didn't know you're so crafty. And it makes it so much more homey when you have pictures, especially something that you made from scratch.
Trust me, you don't want to miss the other genius camper trailer accessories, storage and organization ideas, and cabinet hacks from these meetup campers. So click here right now to watch even more memory-making ideas.